So Bijan Robinson just re-up with the Atlanta Falcons on a historic 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. This deal includes $51 million guaranteed, making Bijan Robinson the highest paid running back in NFL history. This extension effectively ends his week-long training camp hold-in. Wow. Congratulations to Bijan. Congratulations to Clutch Sports Group. Congratulations to Nicole Lynn, who is the president of football operations at Clutch. So shout out to her. Shout out to everyone who was involved in getting this deal done for Bijan, and shout out to Bijan himself. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for getting this deal done. As you guys know, I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. This deal needed to get done, and I'm not saying that just because, just for the sake of, he's a running back and we need to have a starting running back. No. If you know Bijan Robinson, if you have even looked at, I don't care if it's only a game of Bijan Robinson, you know how special and how freaking talented this dude is. And it's just like, he does, and the things he does just so effortlessly. And I'm not saying that he doesn't try hard. I'm not saying that he doesn't run hard, pause. I'm not saying that he doesn't, that he doesn't give effort, but he makes his game look so effortlessly that it is ridiculous. Like, the things that he does, the things that he can do with the football in his hands, pause, is freaking ridiculous. And I can just say that he has, dare I say, single-handedly, maybe other than Kyle Pitts, and probably partnered up with Drake London too, he has, outside of those two, outside of Drake London, outside of Kyle Pitts, he has single-handedly re-energized this franchise, like as far as people actually being excited about the team again, people thinking that this team can do something again, people think that they can go to the playoffs again. And no offense to Kyle Pitts, no offense to Drake London, because I love both of these. I love both Kyle Pitts and Drake London, don't get me wrong. But while those players were on the team and they were great players, yes, but none of those players, none of them have sparked the hype, have sparked the energy, if you will, that Bijan sparked when he arrived to the Atlanta Falcons. None of them sparked. And I love, like I said, I love Drake London. I love Kyle Pitts. Even Kyle Pitts being the unicorn, pause, and how hyped he was as a tight end, and how the expectations people have for him being a tight end, and how he was doing things that other tight ends can't do, and how he's moving like other tight ends can't move, pause, and how he's just doing things that other tight ends, you don't really expect them to do. Even with that being the case, I love Kyle Pitts, I love Drake London, but none of them have energized the franchise the way that Bijan Robinson has. And I would maybe give Kyle Pitts the edge in his first year where he had over 1,000 yards, but ever since then, the hype on Kyle Pitts has kind of been very mute, if you will. And honestly, not from his doing. It's just due to injury, due to not getting targets, due to being out of action. So it's nothing really his fault, but he hasn't really had the hype or the noise that he had in his rookie year. Bijan has maintained the same energy and same hype throughout his entire time in Atlanta, and it has been well justified. I mean, from his first season rushing for over 900 yards, I mean, you just saw the potential, like from the first game, from the first moment, you just saw the potential there. And it would have been a huge outrage from myself personally. I don't know about what anybody else would have did, but I know me personally, there would have been a huge outrage from me if, for whatever reason, I don't care what the reason is, it would have had to be some crazy crime documentary type stuff for Bijan Robinson not to get an extension with the Atlanta Falcons, because from what he's done for this organization, from how just down for the cause he's been, from how humble he's been from the time he stepped into this organization, never complained once, never said anything about getting touches or getting carries or anything like that, never said anything about, let's be real, the losing here in Atlanta. Never said anything about, I wish I would have went to a team that, where they win more. I wish I would have went to a team where we're actually competing for something. Never, ever did he ever say anything as far as that. Never did he ever complain. Never did he ever just bash the franchise and bash the team for whatever reason. He has just been a team player since getting here. And he's one of those players that it's a couple players that people say, I guess you say, fit in Atlanta. And what they mean by fit in Atlanta is the energy, how they carry themselves, the confidence they have, the swagger they carry, how they play the game, how they kind of carry themselves off the field. It's a couple players that people say belong in Atlanta. Bijan Robinson is one of those players that I would say belong in Atlanta. From an ATL and myself, he's one of those players that have the Atlanta swag, that have the Atlanta swagger, had that Atlanta like off the field, chill, laid back, kind of just chilling kind of moniker. He has that energy, and he is a franchise piece for this organization, and will be, I'm going to go ahead and just call it, will be, as the Falcons go into being a playoff team, as the Falcons go into being a potential Super Bowl contender, as the Falcons go into being one of those teams that people talk about as far as having a chance, consecutive years to have a chance to get it done in the highest stage, in the biggest stage of them all, in the Super Bowl, to have a chance to claim a Lombardi trophy. It will be in huge part to Bijan Robinson. Okay, because understand this, I love our team. I love the team that we have. I love our quarterbacks. I love our wide receivers. I love our defense this year. I love all of that. But understand, this team would not be anywhere near as close to where it is now, I believe, if it wasn't for Bijan Robinson. And this is not a one person is bigger than the team kind of thing. No, it's not that at all. What I'm saying is the thing that Bijan Robinson can do, the things that he can add to the team that other running backs probably wouldn't give you. The ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, the ability to be able to go for almost 1,000 yards receiving as well, along with 1,000 yards on the ground. So for him to be able to do all of these things, and I love the fact just in general that the whole new vibe in the NFL and in college and in running backs as far as in general, I love that the new vibe is you have to be able to do multiple things. I love that. And for running backs that are one-dimensional and not able to catch out of the backfield or not able to, go out for a pass or not able to run a route, I'm not going to be that negative person and say, oh, you have no chance. I'm not going to say that at all. But what I will say is, hey, get with some receiving coaches, get with some people, you guys have the money. So if you're in college, you got NIL money. If you're in the NFL, you got, money just straight up. So or even if you're in high school, get with some coaches around, go to some camps, learn how to improve your receiving ability, because the way running backs are shifting in the NFL is you have to be able to do multiple things. Now, there are still a lot of running backs who do one thing really well, and that is running the ball. They don't catch really well. It's not their bread and butter to go out and catch a pass. It ain't their bread and butter to go out and try to run a route. That's 100% fine. But at least learn how to do it. Learn how to do it from the aspect that it won't be uncomfortable to you, from the aspect that it won't be foreign to you when the team asks you to do it. If you go to college and you fall into a system to where they tend to have you catch the ball a lot, it's not like, oh, whenever they got to call a pass play, I got to come out the game because I'm not comfortable catching the ball. So just make sure you can cross all the boxes off as far as catching, receiving, obviously running the ball, being a strong enough runner to where you can be in on all downs. Like, have that Bijan Robinson effect. And the other thing that I would like to give Bijan credit for, and a lot of these recent running backs credit for, like the Saquons, like the Jonathan Taylors, like these running backs, like Jahmyr Gibbs, who's about to get paid as well. The one thing I would like to give credit to these running backs for is they didn't have it easy at all. Like, I'm talking about, they had to get it out the mud. Understand what I'm saying? They literally are having to put the whole running back market on their backs, and carry it back up to being the high regarded position that it once used to be. And I hate the fact that it was not even them that devalued the position. And I hate the fact that there's so many running backs that come into the NFL that that have a chance to go pro and that are, let's be real, are underpaid, are not being paid what they deserve because of other running backs in the past. And I'm not gonna say no names because I want to do that, but other running backs in the past who got contracts and got big contracts and got guaranteed money and didn't live up to the contract and didn't live up to the big dollars and didn't live up to the big hype contracts and the $70 million and $50 million. They didn't live up to that. So in hindsight, that sacrificed all of these newer running backs who do deserve the bag, who do deserve money. That sacrificed them to make what I feel like they deserve. Now, like I said, Bijan and Saquon, they're running backs like that, they're slowly but surely starting to bring the running back position back to where it belongs, in my personal opinion. Because let's be real, you might not, especially in today's NFL, you don't need to have a 2,000-yard rusher. You don't need to have that. But you do need to have a running back that you can rely on to do something. And what I mean by something is, I don't mean a guy that's going to go out there and get you 500 yards. No, I'm talking about a guy that's going to go out there and if you need him to, he can get those 100-plus yard games, them 90-plus yard games. He can get them touchdowns. He can catch out of the backfield. He can be that reliable target. If things just go haywire, he can be that reliable target for you to throw out of the backfield. You can rely on when it's time to just bring the game home. You can just hand it off to him, and he's going to bring the game home for you. He has the potential to break one, throughout the course of a game. So you need a running back that has the potential to really shut it down on the field. Like I said, you don't need a Derrick Henry now. You don't need a Derrick Henry. You don't need a Saquon. You don't need now hold on, let me say this. You don't need a Bijan. You don't need a Saquon. You don't need a Derrick Henry. You don't need a Jahmyr Gibbs. But I will say this. It's very helpful. It's very helpful. If you do have one, it's very helpful. Very helpful. Because having a Bijan, as a Falcons fan myself, having a Bijan, as you know, the Falcons are in a quarterback, battle right now between Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr., right? I respect both of them completely. I respect MPJ. I respect Tua 100%. And they're great. But they don't have to worry about as much pressure if Bijan wasn't out there. If Bijan wasn't out there, I would be way more worried for both of these quarterbacks. But the fact that we have Bijan out there with whoever's going to be the quarterback, and I think it will be Tua, but whoever the quarterback is going to be, having Bijan out there, I'm not so worried about the quarterback. I'm not so worried about whoever's going to be our starter because I know all of the pressure isn't on them. Now, are they going to have to stand in that pocket and make plays when the time comes? Absolutely. They're going to have to stand in that pocket, swallow their pride, and sling that football like only they can, and play as best as they possibly can to allow this team to win. That's 100% going to happen, and if they can't do that, then the other one should get the job. That's just what it is. But they're not going to have as much pressure as if it was just them. It's just them out there with a, no offense, average running back. It's just them out there with a above average running back. No, they have Bijan Robinson, an elite running back out there. In my opinion, the best running back in the NFL this year, or even if you don't agree with the best running back, one of the best running backs out there that will be in the NFL this year. He's out there with Bijan, so that takes pressure off of Tua, MPJ, whoever the quarterback is. We could put Cooper Rush out there. It takes pressure off of him because he has Bijan that he can always turn to and hand it off, and now he just has time to relax and just calm himself down, get a couple handoffs to Bijan, and he just can relax and chill out and just be like, okay, let me get into a rhythm and let me just calm down. I got Bijan. I got offensive pieces out here. Let me just calm down and just go through the flow of the game. It takes that much pressure off of your quarterback to not have to be so perfect, not have to be the savior all the time. What it does is, to put it in simpler terms, it allows your quarterback not to have to be Patrick Mahomes every single times. Or every single times. Every single time he don't have to be Patrick Mahomes boy. Because if you don't have a good running back, that's what your quarterback pretty much is. He's your saving grace. Whenever you get into a clutch moment, you're probably relying on your quarterback. Whenever you get into a moment where you know it's down the stretch of the game and you got to make something happen, you're more than likely relying on your quarterback. Because if you have like an average running back, and here's the thing, being average in the NFL, and I said this multiple times, and I will continue to say this, being average to above average in the NFL, that's not a diss, or that's not a a downgrade or flack, or that's not anything as far as to downplay anybody over. Like, bro, you in the NFL, like you're the top 1% of the 1%. So you being average in the NFL or above average in the NFL, that's no flack or no disrespect at all. I'm just using it for the sake of argument. If you have an average to above average running back or whatever, you're not more than likely relying on that guy to bring it home for you in the clutch. You're going to rely on your quarterback that you pay 100 plus million to, or that you just drafted in the first round of the draft. You're going to put your faith in the quarterback more than likely. But when you have that Bijan out there, when you got that Saquon out there, that Jahmyr Gibbs out there, when you have that person, now the quarterback can be that guy. Don't get me wrong. He can make plays and bring the game home for you, absolutely. But he don't have to. He don't have to be the guy. He don't have to be your saving grace. Because I can turn around and hand it off to Bijan, and he can might win us the game right here. He take off for a 70-yard touchdown, ball game over with. Pause. So it just takes that much pressure off the quarterback. So I feel like this deal was much necessary, man. Well deserved for Bijan. I am so happy that, and his whole training camp hold in, I know people kind of have some opinions about that. Let me say this. Y'all know I'm about everybody getting the bag. I agree with the decision to hold in because he deserves it. He deserves that money. He deserves to get paid what he's worth. He is the driving force. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's the driving force, or one of them, of the Atlanta Falcons. He deserves to get paid. So I agree with his decision to hold in. At least he didn't hold out. He could have just stayed at home and been like, hey, until y'all pay me, I ain't coming to training camp. And that would have been warranted, in my opinion, because, once again, he deserves that money. And I'm all about everybody getting the bag. Y'all know me. So that's just what it is. Out of everything that he's done for this franchise, dude has accumulated over 5,000 yards in 3 seasons. That is the most by any running back 23 years old in NFL history. That is the most yards by a running back during this time of being 23 or younger in NFL history. Already over 5,000 yards. 5,648 to be exact. And that's, once again, already the most in NFL history by anyone 23 years old or younger. Like, 2-time Pro Bowler, made the All-Pro team. Like, will make the Pro Bowl again, unless, of course, we're in the Super Bowl. But, that'd be great. But will make the Pro Bowl again, knock on wood, If it was not for, knock on wood, I ain't going to say it, but knock on wood. Had over 2,000 combined yards this past year. What is there to talk about? Like I said, almost had 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing in the same year. He had 820 yards receiving this year. And here's the thing. He's doing this, and dare I say, this is just my personal opinion with you guys. I'm just be real. I don't even think Bijan has reached his peak yet. Dare I say. I'm being honest with y'all. I don't feel like he's even reached what he can be. Like, we know Bijan is, like, I know y'all gonna be like, what you mean he's amazing? What you talking about, Chill? Like, he's a freaking amazing running back. Absolutely. However, I think that he has the potential, believe it or not, to get better. I think he's just scratching the surface right now. I do. Like, I think the 1,000-yard years, that's obviously Bijan Robinson. He will continue doing that throughout the course of his career. But I feel like throughout the course of his career, he will continue to have like more double double trouble kind of seasons to where it's like 1,000 yards, 900 yards receiving, 1,000 yards, 850 yards receiving. Like he'll continue to have seasons like that. Maybe even if everything goes right, which I think Bijan could do it. If everything goes right, bump to hundreds, maybe 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. Who knows? I think he can do it. It's just going to require consistent quarterback play and him to actually be focused on receiving the passes like that. But I think he can do it easily. Like, I think he can easily do it. And then on top of that, he's a receiving touchdown machine. Like, he actually gets receiving touchdowns. I'm sure how many receiving touchdowns he got. In the last season, he had 4 receiving touchdowns. The year before that, he had 1. And then this previous year, he had 4. I'm sorry, his rookie year, he had 4 as well. So he replicated his rookie season's production as far as receiving touchdowns in his recent year. He had a down tick last year, but it's all good. He still had 1,000 yards rushing. So as far as receiving yards, he's had 820, which was the previous year, 431, and 487, which was his rookie year. So he's done nothing but just shown that, like, this is what he does. He's a multifaceted guy, and I feel like he's just scratching the surface. I think that this is going to be him throughout the course of his career, which is why I feel like he had a right to hold out for some money. Like, I mean, if you're doing all of this, you're catching the football, you're running the football, obviously. It's only right for this dude to feel like he needs to get paid. And he respectfully held in. He didn't hold out. He wasn't selfish. He was at training camp. He was there around the players. He just wanted to get paid, and that's what he did today. Congratulations to Bijan Robinson. Well-deserved contract, man. Well-deserved. I cannot wait to see what the Falcons do this year, man. I know Bijan about to go crazy, especially with that new bag. Woo-wee. Man, my boy Bijan finna go crazy, man. Bijano finna go. He finna go crazy. Hey, the Atlanta Falcons, man, don't sleep on this yet. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't saying nothing. But all I'm just going to say is don't sleep on this yet, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this contract in the comments below. Your boy Chill is out, man. Peace.